Hi everyone, I'm Dragon with you. So today I'd like to share the weekly mutation. We did it yesterday, and fortunately I found some time to get a video about it. So as you can see, there are three main mutators. The first one says that when one of the enemy minions dies, all around gets faster, bigger, and stronger. Second says that if you lose a structure, it will belong to the enemy. And the third is double life. So I'd like to say that abusing walls from the structures, it rarely works, so only if your units are from the other side of the wall, all of them I mean, and it actually can block, but I would prefer to deal with this mutation without this. So we just decided to win casually. My choice
Yet to fall, but it will not last long. Your objective is to defend it until its activation.
My choice of Zeratl's units included the fact that I play the Dark Templars, which actually have double life because they are teleported. So if someone's stealth dies, it will be teleported to your Nexus. That's why Zeratul will have extra life and his Dark Templars too. The start of the game is like casual. We just need some more information. My ally will try to get his best at moving into fast Dark Templars. As you can see, he moves straight forward. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get technology as well. Anyway, I'll need better units than just Stalkers. And maybe some cannons. So I wanted to test the cannons if their mirror image is okay after the Eminent domain. But actually I didn't need them a lot. So at the start nothing happens actually. It's important to understand what enemy is. So actually now we see that our opponent is mostly land-based, and as a result we will be focused on land units, but don't forget air units as well. As you can see, darks from top panel deal with the starting attack easily, and while I cleaned the stones for myself, and my ally did it even faster with his Dark Templars, and now he is moving straight forward into his main forces, I mean casual Dark Templars. And meanwhile I'm trying to collect some kind of an army and get the second base. So actually, as you remember, I can heal with the Zelnaga Shield Guards. They are larger than the casual ones and they can heal shields of ally units. So not only my units, but the Dark Templars are helped too. And the double life plus the Avenger is really irritating because actually you will see hybrids growing enormous. Ground opponent is okay because my units are kind of effective. My ally is specialized at killing all the ground units, as you remember. So actually it's okay. Don't forget the second base, you will need it probably. And I'll show you the hybrid. So I decided that, okay, let's get a couple of cannons just for some reason. If I need to help my base out and all the structures. Remember about double life, about feeding units, so see it grows stronger and stronger. And as you can see, when one of the dogs die, all other dogs will grow too. Fortunately now we have not only time stop and black holes, but I'll show you my abilities. So actually I picked Void Suppression Crystal instead of Casual Tesseract Monoliths, because Void Suppression Crystals actually partially deals with the Avenger. So the speed buff and the attack buff is particularly destroyed. Meanwhile, we are dealing with the Void Thrasher, and why not clear the nearest Zenithal. Zeratul can deal with it solo, that's why my ally can go back home. You can see he is boosting the main things. Don't forget to build air units, it's important. as he will have clocked air units, he will also easily deal with double life with some of the enemies. As you can see, lurkers grow stronger and stronger. But still, when you have enforcers, they are good versus both land and air. Actually, as you can see, we seem to be quite effective. So Zeratul tries to pick artifacts as soon as possible. I still wanted to go Tesseract Matrix if something goes wrong, and meanwhile my units are effective. What about my ally? My ally deals with enemy units as well. As you can see, Corsairs help versus sky units, versus detection, and yes, they are kind of okay versus air. I'm trying to pick an artifact, but usually it takes some time to find the last artifact. And remember that your disruptors are clever, so they can just get the abilities done without your control. But sometimes they controlled anyway. So as you can see, they have the weapon speed improved, they have the armor better. Actually, they had because the black hole affected here. And don't forget detection. Yes, of course you need detection. Remember about that. Fortunately, stealth detectors is also double life because of my ally's ability. That's why I would recommend Vorazun to be one of the commanders used in this mutation. So it usually helps you a lot. It's like micro double life. Meanwhile, as you can see, the special ability of Corsairs, Disruption Web, deals with attack. So lurkers under the Disruption Web cannot fight, they are forced to do something else, they just dig away and die. It's very important. As you can see, this hybrid actually, so the question was from my ally, if a hybrid dies, so if it's a boosted hybrid, as you can see, weapon speed improved and actually armor is improved, as you can see, and the move speed is dramatically improved, right? So if it dies, what will happen? Let's see. So here we go. Okay, it didn't have the second life. I mean, it was done before. Okay, let's check this out. So we pick some unit, probably the queen because it was like, or this lurker. So we see that while I'm destroying his allies, he is like buffing himself. Probably right. It should work this way. So I've killed lots of units actually. And still the buff is like, for some reason it didn't work. Okay, but this guy is bigger. This guy is anyway bigger. So plus 80 health, plus armor, and the weapon speed was better, yeah? So let's see. So now it dies. And yes, everything died here. Meanwhile, while I was fighting, my ally destroyed the Void Thrasher. Remember that you will still need to destroy almost all of them. And my main objective was to find the artifact. I knew that it's somewhere here, but I wasn't sure where exactly. So there are two locations which looks like alike, and at first I was wrong. It's very important to build all the structures you are going to use, because while Zeratul is picking artifacts, more and more upgrades are done. And actually that's pretty good upgrades. So don't forget to build the constructs bay to get the tier 2 and tier 3 upgrades actually. It's very important. And actually, as you can see, everything destroys here. Let's check this super massive hybrid Nemesis. Now it has plus 3 armor, plus double move speed, and what about his attack speed? It's doubled, yeah, it's doubled, guys. So let's see what happens to him. So now it will die, probably. Yes, versus my immortals it will not survive for long. And yes, another great hybrid here. So let's see, it dies. and everything dies. Okay, meanwhile, I'm trying to pick an artifact. Actually, I succeeded, and I thought that, okay, let's pick Avatar of Essence, because after enemy units get buffed, I can transform them into something, and as a result, their buff will probably disappear. So here I try to fight versus enemies. As you can see, my Enforcer is much powerful, more powerful than casual immortals. And now I thought, okay, let's deal with this structure. And Zeratul is like, okay, I'm here, let's do something. Well, I thought that Avatar of Essence will help if something goes wrong. Actually, it was kind of okay, but I wouldn't say that it was crucial here. Meanwhile, something eats my ally. Fortunately, it's not full on. And yes, we are picking the last Xenostone. Finally. Also a nice surprise with stasis wards from my ally. Remember that Oracle is detection for him. As you can see, he collected a nice army, which is effective not only versus land units, I mean Dark Templars, but versus air units, Forcers. Remember to get massive attack for them, because their basic attack is kind of small, it's only 8, but their attack speed is 5. So actually now I'm forced to deal with these hybrids. Fortunately my limit is good enough, and I asked my ally, okay, so we are getting a couple of fights around, that's why it's probably a good idea to get the ultimate ability and get rid of most hybrids. Remember that the hybrids go very one, then something little near the hybrid, and then the main enemy attack. So you can abuse it in this mission. Let's see. So for example, let's take this hybrid destroyer. So when it's done, it's here again, and this guy is buffed, as you can see. So yes, its second life gets buffed, actually. Same situation here. So they were caught into stasis, that's why I picked this central one, his second life. So, and boom. So the slow motion, as you can see, they have little move speed and little attack speed. As a result, my ability partially counters the Avenger. That's why I like it. And while my ally just finish all the enemies, and I'm trying to do it carefully not to lose too many units. Massive Hydralisks, some help from my ally, and here we go. Remember that my maximal limit is 100, so I cannot afford actually more than 100 units. Fortunately, each my unit is as powerful as 2 or even more. Okay, meanwhile we are getting here a little surprise. As you can see, double left drop pads, and the lurker is dealing with his war. Okay, so remember that at the late game you will be forced to fight everywhere. So drop pads on the right hand side, main attack at the middle part, probably more drop pads around, so be ready to deal with all of these attacks. Fortunately, when you are ready, both of you, then I deal with the drop pads, my ally tries to fix the problem here, and this time Avatar of Essence did a great job. So lots of enemy units were transformed into queens. Yes, the Swarm Queen is still a nice unit, but it's like weaker than the previous version. Yeah, transfuses are good, but what was before is even worse. That's why my aura is effective here. I mean the devolution wave. And yes, we still feel comfortable, kind of. Actually, I collected 94 limit. The drop straight into the zone, and it dies almost instantly. So remember that inside these clouds, enemy units are not able to fight. So as you can see, prevents enemy structures and ground units from attacking. 10 seconds. And now comes the last part. So be ready to deal with this and this passages at the same time. Plus you will get a frontal attack and probably a drop.
The battle is almost won.
So actually I thought, okay, while we will fight somewhere else, I might need some static defense. I remember about the first mutator, but still.
Numerous void thrashers against us. Direct your forces accordingly.
So if your temple didn't suffer lots of damage during the game, you might even ignore one of the void thrashers actually. Your main point is not to let this huge army go to the temple. As you can see, super buffed ultralisks. They are huge, but they are dead. And I finally collected almost the limit. And while time is distorted, my ally can deal with the rest of the enemy's army, can deal with the void thrasher using mass corsairs. Let's see his army. It's almost the limit. And meanwhile I'm just picking the second enemy attack with my own forces. And now about the void thrasher. Probably Warzone is better versus the void thrashers because her units are stealth, and if even they die, they will be teleported and have an extra life. That's why I chose my ally to deal with this void thrasher. Meanwhile, I'll protect the base. So 2 minutes remain. Remember about super attacks at the last part of the game. As you can see, the void thrasher is being destroyed. While it's done, the vortex saves more time for my ally. He really needs to get this void thrasher down. And on the top line, as you can see, stasis helped my forces not to lose. Unfortunately, enemy units also did some crazy stuff. And as you can see, now lots of Dark Templars are being teleported. They are at low health, but they did with the void thrasher anyway. And some super hybrids around. Yes, they are strongly buffed. They have extra armor, extra attack, and extra move speed. Now, super hybrids, guys, and with storm. And while I went on to fight here. I cannot devolve hybrids as I remember, but still double life hybrid dominator. And as you can see, after it resurrects, it still has the buffs. So if it was buffed before his death, it will be buffed after his resurrection. That's how it works. So as you can see, I feel like okay, I dealt with the enemies, one more wave, and here my ally actually needs help. So I used my Void Rays to win some time and kill some hybrids probably. They did their best. And meanwhile another attack, so I'm forced to deal with it. Another... You will see how the ability tried to work, but I didn't have time. So there is a huge fight here. A huge Ultralisk around. Meanwhile more Ultralisks from the second passage. Meanwhile more forces from the top passage. And as you can see, my ally is very good versus what remained on air, but actually not much remained in air. He needs his ground forces. So now he's at 100 limit. What about his units? Let's check. Can I check his units? So actually he has only 3 Dark Templars and it's not enough. And he lost them during his main mission to kill the Void Thrasher. So no problem, my ally is still good. He helped me with lots of webs. And my forces also suffered heavy losses, as you can see. But I'm still alive. So that's how we did it. Now, some tips about doing with this mission. So actually, as Avenger works perfectly with the double life, you will be likely to try to freeze the enemy or just slow them down somehow. So you will need to deal with the effect of Avenger. That's why pick units which are effective versus heavily armed units. Then remember about double life, so if the enemy seems not so hard, remember about Mutators. And lastly, get ready to defend the temple from 3 messages at the same time. Probably that's it. Special thanks to Wolfstalker for being my ally. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos. Good luck to you.